Hello, happy Halloween, and welcome to episode 17 of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with pumpkin carvers, sculptors, and multi-talented artists. We welcome all of our new YouTube followers, thanks to Good Mythical Morning, and our regular viewers, hello and welcome again. We humbly ask that you please consider giving us a like and a follow on the platform that you're watching us on. And let us know in the comments where you're watching from and if you have any questions for the carvers. My name is Michael Mondragon, and I'll be running the show, moderating comments, and chiming in from time to time. Let's meet the carvers. First, he is a multimedia sculpture artist from Tucson, Arizona, and a finalist on Halloween Wars 2019 on the Food Network. Matt Harper, welcome.
Hey, guys. Hello.
And from Boston, Massachusetts, he is the 2019 champion of Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins, Paul Dever. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Paul. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And our fourth member is the Hello Wheel, the center spinner, but we just call it the wheel.
The wheel.
So, Paul, can you tell us a little bit more about the wheel?
Sure. Well, for those who haven't seen the show before, this is the wheel. And what we're going to do tonight, rather than have the time to prepare and use your brain and really get into a sculpt, we like to absolutely make ourselves go haywire and pick it from the wheel. So what we'll do is we'll spin the wheel. It'll tell us what we're going to carve. We're going to spin it again. It's going to tell us what the emotion is. And we'll have, 3 to 5 minutes to prepare, really, to get our tools together and whatnot, yep. And then we'll get into carving. And tonight we figured we would treat this as a workshop for anyone that wants to chime in with some comments or questions as to how to get the coolest pumpkin on your block for Saturday night. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to teach you guys.
Yeah, it's all about what's happening this Saturday. And I know that people really won't be doing the normal trick-or-treating thing as they normally do, but what better time to just sit in front of one of these big boys right here and kind of put your tools to them and have fun and kind of try to create something cool. And if you walk away from nothing else today, you're going to walk away from this with a lot of cool things. Actually, I take that back. You're going to learn how to, what some of the tools are, how they work, how we use them. But at the end of the day, we're just here to make sure that you win whatever contest you're going to be in on Saturday at the big carve off, right? So it's all about having fun and learning how to carve these things.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
So we're going to take a little bit of time to let everybody gather themselves. We like to do a toast at the beginning of the show. While people get their stuff together, and actually I'm going to show a picture here while we do it.
Whoa.
This is Matt and I in 1984 at our 8th grade graduation.
He was there. Holy crap.
Wow. Look at that, huh?
So we were making faces a long time ago. So maybe you can carve this one tonight, Matt. Carve your.
Yeah, I might. I want to make sure I have that cool tie. I'll carve that too.
It's actually Mickey Mouse playing baseball, which you think I would have the Mickey tie. And I've been looking for that tie forever because obviously I'm a huge baseball fan. So yeah, definitely.
I don't know what closet that thing's sitting in, but it's long disappeared, I'm sure. That's a great picture, Mickey. Thanks for putting it on.
And Matt, for those who don't know, Matt is 6'6", and he's actually, I believe he's shrinking down to get down to my size. I'm not super short, but yeah, I think you were standing in a hole in this picture.
On steps.
Yeah.
That's great, guys. You guys have known each other quite some time.
Yeah,
couple years.
Yeah, just a few. And one day we will all be in the same room because I'm in Los Angeles, Matt's in Tucson, and then you're in Boston. So one day we'll be together again, right?
We'll have to recreate that photo. But
yes, we'll definitely have to recreate. That'd be amazing.
So Mickey, as you know, and maybe a lot of people who are watching don't, this is the first time. I mean, you and I have seen each other in person many times. I've never got to sit across from Paul and have a beer. So, it's kind of one of those things.
And we've shared many beers.
Yes.
Zoom has brought us together, or I guess COVID has.
Yes.
Like that.
Strangely enough, it's the one good thing I've found from COVID is this whole situation right now.
That's right. Oh, don't forget about the beer,
um,
Mickey. You got to drink.
Yes.
Here. I'm getting thirsty.
All right.
Well, I'll start out this time. I actually have the same brewery that I had last week, El Segundo Brewing, but this time it's a Grand Hill IPA. So I'll
Nice.
be having that. Paul, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm switching it up. I'm giving a Fisher's Island lemonade. It's a spiked lemonade, vodka and whiskey with natural juice and flavors. It's 9%.
Wow,
Whoa, 9%.
You never mess around.
Bright light. Yeah,
That's legit.
that's the other good thing about COVID. My tolerance for alcohol is completely spiked.
Yeah, we've been doing some liver destruction every day here in this house, or at least I have. I can't speak for my kids. I'm pulling out. We had like actual temperatures that felt like winter. That means like in Arizona it's 50s, but and now they're back to the 80s. I think it's like 85 right now. So I pulled out a New Belgium Snow Day winter ale.
Oh, right on.
Just to get, have the ghosts of winter stick around a little longer and keep us a little cooler. In fact, I don't know why it's 85 degrees, but I don't know. It's end of October. It's still hot. And this is my trusty Ted the Movie bottle.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, cheers, everyone. And thank you to all of our new followers, and thank you to our hardcores out there that watch us every week.
Yeah, that's
all right. So, Paul, I think we're ready to spin the wheel and see what face and emotion that we're going to be doing.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get after it. Let me shrink my giant head. All right, here we go, gentlemen and ladies.
Be nice, wheel.
We've gotten that quite a few times. The org. So an
ogre. Okay.
With my wonderful spelling. And
you got an ogre. I like ogres.
A scared ogre.
A scared ogre.
Which is a good one to put on the porch, really, because once you put that pumpkin out, those squirrels are going to eat it, and that thing's not going to be. It's going to be pretty scared.
So I'm picturing in my mind like Shrek. But and with a really wide open face, like he just got. I'm sure there's got to be like footage of him scared at something, or maybe he's scaring people.
Kind of negates the purpose of that. That gives you all the time in the world if you have reference.
Well, I'm not. It's in here. It's not specifically referenced, but oh man! All right, now we got to start carving this thing, huh?
Yeah, supposedly that's part of the show, I guess.
All right, so let's go through quickly who's watching out there. McFrazzle Stash Studio, thank you for joining again. Branch MC, someone who I know has been actively watching all of our videos. Vax, thank you so much, and it's been commenting on a lot of our videos. Thank you so much. John Davis,
Johnny,
yeah, welcome.
I know that guy.
Another great carver.
Definitely.
Yeah. Amazing.
Definitely follow him on Instagram. So if you're out there, if you have any questions, so let's actually start here. So if you're a beginner and you have what Matt has there and what Paul has there, this is usually how you would shave down the pumpkin at the beginning, correct?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times you're not going to have a cheese slicer handy. So like Matt's showing now, we'll start with a larger ribbon loop. You can get these at any of the craft stores, Michael's and AC Moore and all that. So the only difference between what you'll get at the craft store and what we have is we like to put these teeth on it. We rake each tool so that just keeps us from digging in and taking too much material right off the bat. So that's step one. So grab your big loop. And we're going to clear the skin off. Not too much, just enough to clear the surface.
I'm going to use my trusty cheese peeler.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever washed, if you can't tell. Dude, yeah, probably not.
I'm going to go old school tonight.
But the backside is nice and clean because that always comes right off. But yeah, I'm just going to use this guy tonight.
Wow, that takes a lot of it off.
Yeah, it's a nice smooth surface once you get done. I have another really cool tool that you might have at your home in your drawer, and it's this kind of thing. And usually they use it for like zucchini or when you julienne potatoes or something like that. It is a kitchen tool of all things, Titan. So anyway, but it also works, and it's got those little tiny teeth in it that Paul was talking about. Let's see if I can get it to focus. But yeah, and that it doesn't have a smooth surface, but it works just the same.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Paul, you have a butternut squash, correct?
Yes, I'm gonna go with the butternut. My table is obviously full of a couple of pumpkins that I've done over the last couple of days, and the ones that I have left are so big that I think it would be difficult. They would probably hit right here on the camera. It's probably 30, 40 pounds somewhere in there. Plus, this will show, this will give a smaller depiction of, how we do things. I think it's all good for the workshop purpose. I don't think I need another pumpkin on my table. Yeah. So have to keep them moist.
Paul, what's your okay, yeah, talk about what you're doing right there with the water.
Well, the biggest problem with pumpkins, when everybody asks the questions of how do you preserve the pumpkins, the one thing that we tell them over and over again is you can't. When actually you can get maybe another day out of it if you're really consistent with keeping them moist and covered. So I like to spray them down every 15, 20 minutes when I'm in front of them. And at the end of the night, what I'll do is I'll really give them a good soak in, and I'll wrap them real tight with saran wrap. And that's about the best you're going to do other than sinking them in vinegar. So if you want your pumpkins to last till Halloween, from tonight till then, don't put them outside, obviously, because of animals. Or if you do, take them in at night, give them a good squirt, and wrap them real tight with saran wrap. And if you have an extra fridge to throw pumpkins in, I'd keep it cool and throw it in the fridge. But keep it moist. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the squirt bottle. I'm the same way, just keeping this thing wet. And now I just peeled it, so it's actually kind of dripping anyway from just the moisture coming in from the inside out. But what's happened effectively now is the clock is ticking, right? So we're now in a race. Now it's a very long race. We got a marathon instead of a sprint to when that starts to dehydrate. In Arizona, it dehydrates versus rots. I think because of the moisture level, it just starts sucking it in. And if you think of like when you're having a salad and you have a carrot that's sitting out too long, it kind of goes from like orange to white. That's what happens. It just shrinks in size and dehydrates, and that really messes with your design. So keeping it wet is a key. Really good point for all of us to remember. So remember that.
Pumpkin 101.
All right, so you're going with I see a line forming there already, Paul. I'm not just talk to us. I mean, I'm going to do the same thing, but since you already carved line number 1, I'd love to know kind of what your thoughts are.
Okay, so a lot of people have different processes. I usually start with the brow line, and a lot of times you'll draw a straight line across, just to keep it neutral and find out where the top of the nose is and where the eyeballs are going to go. But I found lately that I don't do anything really serious. It has kind of a cartoony look to it. So if I go right ahead and create the what's the word I'm looking for? The location of the eyebrows or the, if I'm going to go mad, I aim them down. If I'm going to go sad, I'm going to aim them up. So the straight line goes away. So right now what I'm doing is this will be the top of the nose. And this is going to be the top pretty much above the eye sockets. So I kind of want to create that sad expression right off the bat. So because we're not using reference, I think everything I'm going to do is going to be based on what I see on the surface. Yeah. Does that make sense? If I could see the face on here, I can bring it out of it without reference. But I have to start with something like that, the brow line. Just like drawing a stick figure, I think that makes it easier for people too. Whereas to not do all the, the structure and the real artsy, by the book mechanical stuff, just draw the brow line, draw how you want that the eyebrows to look. I'm a really good teacher, as you can tell.
Let's do what I do. Yeah.
Just follow along.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat with you. A little different and probably not the best lighting in the world to really show it because it's bigger. But so I'm doing the same thing, Paul, when it comes to the brow. I'm going to give this guy kind of a bigger nose, and maybe even put some like divots and warts and stuff like that on his nose. So this whole area right here is going to kind of start out being his nose. And don't forget, if you're carving, especially for the beginners, I'm going to leave the nose for a long time from now. Not the last thing, but it sticks out the furthest. So if I start carving down right here, I'm going to have to carve everything else behind it down further, and I might break through. So I'm going to start with the parts of the eyes and around the nose and the mouth that are a lot further in. So I'm just trying to just get rough shapes for the nose, just using a smaller tool. I'm almost like sketching it on like you would a piece of paper. But yeah, it's a start, right? And then next thing you know, you're blocking it out and you're trying to get a sense for where everything else is going to be.
That's a good point, Matt. And just to kind of tag on that, when you start your carving, you start with your brow line or whatever, but the deepest parts of your face are what you're trying to get to first, which would be the corners of your eyes and the outside parts of your nose, like next to your nostril here. You don't really ever want to touch the tip of wherever the tip of the nose is off limits. That's the highest point. Because we're working subtractive, everything is getting pushed back. So you already have the tip of your nose. It's just up to you to push everything back to find it. So, don't try to shape that nose too early. Find the bottom maybe, like Matt said, to sketch it on there. But you're going to try to remove material from the deepest parts of the face, like the corners of the eyes, the corners of the nose. These are the spots you want to start digging into. You want to start making the nose kind of pop out a little.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and it's going to look very flat at the beginning, but the deeper you carve around it, this is still very flat and wide, but the deeper I'm carving around the thing, hang on, change my light. It's a little bit too, there we go. A little better. Yeah, the deeper I carve around it, it starts to come out. Visually it stands out a little bit more and more each time. And then same with the eyes. The more I carve around those, the deeper you carve, the more they stand out. Because think about it, when you're photographing them or looking at them straight on, the shadows of the creases and stuff you make are the darker parts. If you have a bright light right on the front of it, like this, then the whole thing is washed out. So you're always trying to make sure that you're having those deeper parts in the cuts here stand out a little bit more. So start there for sure.
Right. So if anybody's carving along by now, you should have your brow line, and then we should be sketching out somewhat of a nose. And if you're doing an org or an orc or ogre
or orgy or
all three words like we do, that's up to you. Artistic interpretation. You want the thing turned up. You want a flat little stubby nose. It's up to you. Like right now, I'm just going to make a short little nose right now. And as you can see, it already kind of has that sad look to it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just sketching, like Matt said. It's going to look flat for a long time. You want to leave this area alone, and you want to start clearing material from the eyes. Not too much, a little bit at a time. You might have to do this 3-4 times till you finally get down to the depth that you want. But don't go too fast. God knows.
Yeah, go. This is definitely not a race, especially unless I win. But it's more of it's more about like enjoying the process, and that's one thing that people have asked about. How long do these take to make and stuff like that. We're going to be here for 90 minutes with you, hanging out, carving, getting some tips going and stuff like that. But Paul and I won't finish these until probably an hour or two after we finish the show. And that said, strap in, put on some music. If you're of age, grab a beer, and you like beer, of course, and just kind of relax and kind of just enjoy the process too, because it is a very fulfilling. Like once you start seeing things come alive, you get lost in it. And like any sculptural or artistic process, if you kind of let yourself get there, it's pretty fun. Especially if you're seeing something that you're creating for the first time emerge from a surface. But regardless, I mean, a lot of beginners on here tonight. So I think, needless to say, just try it, right? It's a pumpkin. Oh, and one other little tip, and Paul, you can probably know this too. Guess what happens on Sunday when it's no longer Halloween season? Every pumpkin you see at these pumpkin stands, they can't get rid of them fast enough. And what was a $20 pumpkin the day on Halloween is a $2 pumpkin the next day. So you can practice to your heart's content on big pumpkins right after this. So
it's a very good point.
Yeah.
I think I've carved quite a few pumpkins. I don't know if I'll be running. Don't we turn the clocks back too this weekend?
Is it this weekend? Yeah, I think it is this weekend.
That's what I thought Matt was leading.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, November 1st, right?
be dark out at friggin' 2 PM.
Oh yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah, I don't really. I live in Arizona. We don't do that.
Seasonal
stuff,
depression season. Hooray!
I don't know.
Yeah, we need more depression this year. Can we have
Yeah, right.
anything
There
else?
isn't enough stuff going on.
Yeah,
You know what, Matt? When you were talking about how it's therapeutic, I agree with you so much, because I won't. If I want a cup of coffee and there's 3 people in line to get a cup of coffee, I won't get a cup of coffee. That's how impatient I am. I'll sit down and lose track of time doing this, and just be completely relaxed and in the zone the whole time. So it's like art therapy, really. You just get lost in the process. You know,
my little 2 cents. I'll have my kids will come in the room and I'll have my headphones on, and I swear to God, they've probably said my name 10 times, and I'm out of my fog. I'm like, oh yeah, what? And it's not because I didn't hear them. It's just because I was, focused, and it's a fun state to be in, kind of thing.
It really is. But in the meantime, I know people get frustrated when they first start these. I know I did. So if you have any questions about the tools that we're using, or if you're really not figuring it out with the shapes and whatnot, just type it in. Mickey will moderate it for us, and we'll get you that answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
It can be very frustrating.
And McFrazzle actually brings up a very good point. And this is something I still have not adjusted to, and I've lived here for almost 24 years. Is there's no daylight savings in Arizona, so it's
clock here. Yeah,
it screws me up every year. Yeah. So Lorette is watching. Hello.
Hey, me mom.
My buddy Ed, who watches faithfully every week, is here. Welcome. Actually, and Paul, you're gonna love this one. Every time I hear Paul talk, it reminds me of the ALCS 2004 and breaks my heart. So, take a little solace in Dave Roberts, congratulating him for his managing the Dodgers to a world championship. He was a big part of that 2004 comeback.
He stole second.
That's right. If it wasn't for that,
down 3-0. No big deal. Ain't no big deal. It's all in the past,
Support Fibro is watching. Thank you very much. Carol says hi, Paul.
Oh, hi, Carol.
Ed also loves Matt's stand-up material. I've loved Matt's stand-up material since 8th grade. So actually, no, 4th grade. We actually have known each other since 4th grade. So go figure. Wow. So yeah, so I knew he was he literally was a young comedian.
Oh God. Oh no.
And my girlfriend Melissa Nerdy Talwar watching. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
It's like a friends hangout at this.
Really is.
You get to,
lovely.
Get to be around a bunch of cool people every week.
Yeah, so that's maybe that's something we should address. So this show was born out of just Matt and
wedlock
getting together, and Instagram not being a great platform to live stream, and so Matt would always drop off, and Paul would be left kind of carving on his own, and so
Matt had AOL at the time.
Yeah,
I kind of got rid of dial-up.
I was going to send him some of my discs so he could get some extra time in the mail. Yeah. But yeah, so, and then we just decided, hey, let's just hang out. And I'm, for those who don't know, I'm a graphic artist. I've been one for all my life, I would say. Well, maybe not in the few formative years that I was born, but I would say since age 7, I can safely say. But so I mean, I've been trying to do 3D artwork for a long time in graphic design, and it's always been kind of hard for me. Like I've been able to, I have the ability to draw, but my career took me in other places doing Photoshop, Illustrator, and stuff like that. So learning this and seeing you guys work and seeing how this kind of happens is really fascinating. I mean, I'm sure it's fascinating to those people who are seeing it for the first time, and used to seeing jack-o'-lanterns where you stick a knife in it and you just carve out the wedges. But this is really fascinating just to see the whole process of like, shaving it down and then creating these shapes and then creating them into really intricate, really detailed pieces of work. The thing that and to be clear, they've jumped me into this gang style, gotten me to carve as well. So I'm really loving the process. So one of the mistakes that I'm making in my carving right away is that I'm going too deep at the beginning. Yes. So I'm really like, because my perception of 3D is like, I have to like carve out the eyeball. Oh, okay. Let me go back up. Almost like what a skeleton or a skull would be. So I'm hollowing out things, but what I should be doing is going around the edges, right? And creating those lines that are the definition of what I'm trying to make.
Yes. You got to follow the beginning steps. And like Matt and I said, you got to slow down. So you scratch across the top, whether it's straight, sad, mad, whatever, right? So you find in the top of the nose, essentially. Then you have to draw the triangle or rough kind of a triangle around here. And then you have to start removing the material from here. If you remove too much right off the bat, and another thing that we should probably tell them is if this is your first time carving a pumpkin and your question is, how do you know when you're too close to the middle? You either break through or you can push in the corners of where you're digging. And when it gets bouncy, if you can feel a little give in there, that's when it's time to stop and focus on another area. You've reached the point of no return. So going slow will prevent you from getting there too fast.
True. And one to your point too, you're working on a butternut, so you have a little bit more of a luxury because it's pretty thick at the top. But you're right. So the good test is if you feel it from the outside and you're pushing down here,
there's Matt's AOL.
It's like a rock. The closer you get to this, like you can see it doing a little bit of a trampoline. Yeah, if you get that feeling, then then you know you're too close and you just back away. That that's going to be the danger zone. Now, a lot of designs that I'll end up doing have a hole in them. Usually it's the mouth or something like that, or but when you're not wanting to break through, that's when you can really test it. How deep have I gone? So Mickey, to your point, that's a really good way to test it. Just kind of keep feeling with your finger as you go. Am I too deep? Is it starting to get spongy? Is the texture, instead of being this rock on the outside, is it starting to get kind of like cotton candy feeling, on the inside? So
yeah, and you'll get used to it because every now and again you'll take a good swipe with a bigger tool and you'll just under your breath be like, uh-oh. Like, I gotta check that. I might have taken too much material too fast. So it's really all about just taking the corner of that tool and just sketching it on, like almost, I put it like, it's almost like using a 3D pencil, right? So if you just scratch the shape that you want nice and lightly without too much pressure that you're going to remove too much material, you're just going to scratch the surface and find the shapes that you're looking for, the triangles and the circles for eyes. And then you can start using, I'd use just a little bit more pressure to remove just a little bit more material. I mean, the longer it takes, I mean, if you're into it, time isn't even a problem because you're going to want to spend a long time doing it because it's just fun.
And at this point you're committed, right? You're already in it. You're going to be here for a few hours. You're relaxed. You're going to enjoy the process, even if it's not the perfect sculpt. So the part about rushing it or trying to force it is out the door. The only thing you're really up against is if you're in hour number 10 and you haven't slept and the thing's starting to rot in front of you, then worry. But you can't really
so
give yourself too hard of a time.
Here's something I want to throw at you, and it seems to be kind of an important thing here. Is your lighting on what you're carving? I would expect that it would be very important because you're going to see the things that you wouldn't see in bad lighting.
Yeah.
So,
I just have a shop light and it's angled. I usually just place it high above. Right. You know what I mean?
So it spreads.
I'm like 2 or 3 feet above to create shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's too low, you're going to get too much light.
Yep.
If it's too far away, it's going to be all washed out.
Right.
So I just use one of those simple shop lights above my head.
Yep.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah, and lighting from the top down helps a lot too. I've noticed if you have it from the top, then the shadows you're trying to get to in the eyes and the mouth kind of are accentuated a little bit more. It's just my 2 cents. It's just I like to have a light above versus like straight on. It ends up being a little bit more telling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? After the sculpts are done, I feel like down lighting looks really good. Like if it's lit from below, like when we put them in the tanks and stuff like that. After it's all done.
Yeah.
But for sculpting reasons, you want the light above so you can create those shadows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you can't. You know, that would be terrible if I didn't have the right light. And then I'm like, oh, all right, so there is some depth there. So it's preference too. So I know some people like to use like 6 or 7 lights while they carve.
Yeah.
I plug in one and run.
When we got to is it time to drink? I forgot. When we were carving with Ray Villafane, he was kind of the master of the lighting setup. He had everything so beautifully visible. Now that's to the camera, but also clearly when he's sitting there looking at it, he can see every angle at the right light. So I'm not there yet. Someday I'll have better lighting, I'm sure. But that'd be one. If you ever want to go back and watch one of our episodes, that's a great one because his visually, when you see what he's carving, it's always in focus, always perfect. I say that as mine's completely blotted out and gross, but anyway.
That's not true.
Oh God. Okay, that's it. Maybe a little better.
Let me get that from.
I've just got a very sensitive computer. Every time or.
All right, so I'm going to answer a question. I see a question from Cassie. Hi, Cassie. Matt and I both still have real jobs. This is our pretend job. This is our 2-month out of the year fun job. My real job is a mechanical coordinator. So I work in the construction field in the pre-construction department, and it has nothing to do with pumpkins. So this is kind of my fun escape for a couple of months.
Yeah,
I do like my job though.
But you did work that into your job description. You let them know up front.
They were very understanding. I just kind of let them know, like in October, things get really weird for me. And that's the majority of where my vacation time goes. And they just laughed and said, have at it, So that was a good thing.
Yeah, and Cassie, to answer your question too, I work for a large healthcare company selling things that go into hospitals, big MRIs and CTs and stuff like that. So this is clearly a second job. Wonderful hobby, just love doing it. But yeah, it's seasonal, which is sad. But the fun part about doing this show has been we've gotten to once a week dip our toe in it and keep our practice going the whole time.
Yes, that's been huge. Matt, even before we started the show, it was you and I were doing this on Instagram back in, geez Louise, April? Was it April?
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Paul, the one fun thing is I was like decided, hey, Instagram has this live function. Let me push the button. And I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I look at 3, 4, 5 people are watching me. This is great. Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm like talking to old friends that I haven't seen. And all of a sudden Paul jumps on. And then all of a sudden Paul shares screen, or what do you call that? Where you
accidental.
Yeah, but it couldn't have been a better accident and then next thing you know, we're into the night, 3 hours have gone by, and we're sitting there just, having a good time carving pumpkins and laughing. So,
yes, it was a pumpkin match made in heaven, if you will.
Brenda says, "Nice to see you again. You're keeping Halloween alive for me this year." Dude, I couldn't agree with you more, Brenda. This is like, we're trying to keep it alive for ourselves too.
I joke at the first of this year that this may be the scariest Halloween of all time.
And there's a full moon too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's right.
Couldn't be even weirder.
I don't need any more piling on this year.
Stop already, 2020.
Yeah.
Hey, there she is.
So
All right.
this is an an orger. What did you have it on the board as?
An org.
Org.
OGERRE.
Okay.
It's an orgay.
That's pretty scared.
An ogre or an orc. Jesus, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna buy the website www.org.com.
Yes.
Isn't there a .org already?
As you say that, somebody's like getting on Google domains right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Org.org. Yeah.
We got a scared org.
That's probably what I was thinking when I typed on it.
Answer that.
Hey, I have a feeling it's another political thing. So I rerun from our phone at this time of year.
Yeah, but you run from it, but you gave it a voice. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
All from.
All I do is ignore it.
Yeah,
it's probably not good.
It's probably a good idea.
So my girlfriend's gonna eat all the candy this year, so I get nothing. So I wish I could put on weight. I'm actually losing weight this year. So
I'll take yours.
thank you, pandemic. Down to a slim trim 167.
Nice.
Yeah,
You
look
might
at
be
me. Go me.
that said that. Quarantine 15 was like 15 ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I sympathize with both of you. You poor bastards.
Wow.
Actually, you're gaining weight, Paul. You said.
Yeah, I gained some weight.
All right, there we go.
Not the good weight either.
Yeah, but you went to Chicago. What did you eat there?
Mostly takeout. There's nothing open.
Okay.
No, there's a great I'm not really a taco guy, but they got this crazy taco joint called Taco Vida out there. Like they make the fresh tacos. I'm not, like I said, a big taco guy, but they were delicious. But I could only eat that twice.
Paul, come out here. There's tacos in Tucson that'll make you become a taco guy.
No, I became kind of a taco guy out there. They were good.
Paul, I would do hard time to have some Chicago tacos right now. If someone gave me like an omakase sushi meal, like I would do things that would probably put me in prison.
Things that they would do to you in prison.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
I can get to prison other ways, Mickey. You know. Oh, the goal isn't to go to prison. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, it does seem like
yeah.
to go to prison.
All right, I'm with you.
Just change your name to Andy Dufresne.
Takeout
Andy
is
Dufresne.
not like having it hot off the knife. I'm sorry. Hot off the knife. Anybody who knows sushi knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought that was more prison talk. You got me all confused.
I like where your mind went.
Yeah, it stays with prison talk. That's a hard one to overcome.
Yeah, I can't be. I'm sewn up, I guess, on that conversation.
So,
right
Paul, you were just in Chicago.
I was, yeah.
So you were there for a week, right? Carving?
Yes, sir. At the Chicago Botanical Garden.
How cool is that?
It's a really good show. It sells out really early too. I think it was sold out at the end of August.
Oh my gosh!
Even in this kind of craziness, it was already sold out. They made the show a bit bigger to better socially distance.
Yeah.
And the trails were a little wider, and so the show itself was bigger. So it was really good. The artists that do the illustrated pumpkins are just amazing that they have out of New York, and John Davis is one of them, and Rachel Colby, and Steven Genso, and they got a good team, man. I'm lucky to be on it, to be honest. I just go there and carve faces, basically.
Yeah, well, luckily they're good, so that helps.
Oh, Mr. Thomas Olton on the look at that,
correcting you.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. Can you do me a favor? Kick him out of the meeting for correcting me?
Yeah.
I
wish I could do that from here.
Stricken that from the record.
It's Botanical. Look it up, Tom. It's not my fault. It's not my fault the Yankees suck.
They try to buy a team every year. Give them a break.
I try to tell Tom that every year.
Dodgers bought one this year, so they got this one,
Although I take that back, they've actually in the last few years they have tried to develop stars, but they wind up buying the superstar here and there.
Tom is a diehard Yankees fan.
Yeah.
It's really, when did the Sox last win the series? It was a great year for me. It was a great year.
They have some really great multimillionaires sitting the bench, and it usually does really good for them every year. Wow, this beer's kicking in. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Look at you. Okay, get that guy out. Get somebody get Mickey a trash can so he can throw up.
Yeah, give me started on baseball. By the way, the Beer Baseball Blogcast every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, Tom, you'd love
that. More of these outrageous takes.
We had as a lot of the folks who are on and our newest subscribers were on Good Mythical Morning. Oh, I'm wearing a Good Mythical Morning shirt. Thank you for being mythical guest. Very nice. GMM. Big. How fun was that? Just to be on it was really, really cool. So I'm glad we got that shot. To be, with the Rhett and Link, who are a hell of a team, like the Matt and the Paul,
that's true.
Who sit there and scrape away every day. Actually, we're more of a trio because we got Mickey. Without Mickey, I think we would bore the hell out of everybody. We'd be sitting there the whole time, scraping away and not talking to each other and drinking beer. I don't know if that's
right. We'd be back on Instagram.
We'd be accidentally dialing each other up on Instagram every day. So yeah.
I think at this point they would have booted us off Instagram and we'd just be like on a private Zoom meeting, just like
Zoom would have been ready to kick us off at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
Zoom would have kicked you off because it's not stable. Boom. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy, look at the Zoom hater coming out.
There goes that.
Well, there goes our Zoom ads for the month.
Yeah. Well, we actually started on a Zoom when I first started doing live streaming, and if it was the solution, that's where we would have been. But StreamYard has been great.
StreamYard has been great.
Yeah.
What's StreamYard?
StreamYard. We're going with the indie talent.
Yeah,
it has been great. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's been super stable, and we'll take their endorsements all the time. There's a very interesting question here. Any plans to go full time?
No.
Oh, it's you, baby.
Listen, that's a dream, but that's also like when you're a kid and then in your 8th grade yearbook, you say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everybody says, well, around here, they say professional hockey player. I have no delusions of grandeur. I like my job and I love this, but I think if this became my job, I wouldn't love it as much.
Interesting.
I enjoy the creativeness of it. And I found that sometimes when you're being asked to do specific things too much, that isn't what your idea of creative process is. You spend the whole time going, this sucks. Like, this is work. This is terrible. I like being able to put my own spin on stuff. So like this time of year when we're doing stuff like this, it's freeing, really. I have my one job, that's my career, and then I have my second career, which is this, which really ramps up this time of year, but then slows down to a mild trickle, and I'm sure we'll keep the show going and stuff. And yeah, I couldn't see myself doing this full time. I think it's too hard. What am I gonna do? Travel around the world carving pumpkins?
Wait, you're acting like it's something you're acting like it's something you wouldn't do it. I mean, I would
listen. If somebody gave me a contract right now that paid could pay my bills, then okay, sure. But
all right, hey, let's stay hypothetical, right? I mean, if
all right, if you want to stay hypothetical, yes, I'd love to do it year round.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, yeah. Be open to it.
Reality,
sorry for being a grown up. Jesus, let me go back to. Hold on, I haven't had enough to drink yet. I'm not even whimsical. I'm still thinking about like work tomorrow.
Yeah. Forget that. That's so far
away.
No reason to think about that. Yeah,
good point. Well, Halloween is coming, guys. That's what we should talk about.
But if someone could match or double your current salary, would you consider it?
If they matched it
tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Okay, so it's a yes.
Right now, if you offered me on the air, I would
Exactly.
show to work tomorrow.
So we take the trio here, we create it, and we make it happen. How about that?
All right, Mickey, you're in charge.
All right, I'm in charge.
I'm in.
Yay! I have more work.
Yes,
no,
funny.
that was a great question.
That's a great response. Everybody does want to be a hockey player, but they all become teachers. half the people I went to high school with did.
There's much more longevity in being a teacher than there is being a hockey player.
That's a good point.
Except if you're Gordie Howe.
Well, yeah, Gordie played till he was what, 50?
Look at him now.
He might have even played into his 60s or
Was
70s. Yeah, I think he did. I think
Wow.
he retired and actually came back.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I when I was a kid, you wanted to be a hockey player because we had Cam Neely and Ray Bork, and it was just craziness. It was so awesome. Yeah. So.
And by the way, I just saw another GMM convert coming over. Not convert. Geez, they didn't convert to come over to us. But they are here because of GMM. So thank you. Love it. Glad you guys are with us. And enjoying the show.
Chicago. Steve.
So here's a question. What do you use to preserve your pumpkins after you finish carving them?
Okay, Matt, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
The camera. That's the easiest question. Just take a ton of pictures with really good lighting and keep them. I use this spray thingy. I keep them moist. And now again, this is early in the stage, so he's just starting to become something. But keep them nice and moist. And then moist is a terrible word, isn't it? Good Lord.
Great word.
Sorry, I'm not gonna say that word again. Keep them hydrated, and then take tons of pictures. And if I preserve it at all, I'm wrapping it in Saran wrap or plastic, and keeping it nice and wet. Keeping it in a refrigerator, or if I didn't live in Arizona, it'd be outside somewhere where it's cold. So yeah, that's the only way to really do it. So I think what I'm planning on is having this guy become, when it's finished, a Halloween decoration somewhere. So I think it'll last a couple of days. I just got to keep it in the fridge.
Okay, nice. And then I'll go the other way, which is if you want to preserve a smaller sculpt, like what I'm doing here, which is a butternut squash, and you have a vessel, like a jar or what's called a cloche, which is a round dome that goes over it, you can always submerge them in vinegar. Vinegar is acidic, and it's a natural preservative. So as long as they're submerged, you can keep them forever. But something like these guys back here aren't going to fit, and you're never going to find. You put it in a fish tank and have 60 pounds of vinegar floating around in your house. I would suggest, if you want to preserve one and you want to keep it for a while, do something small like a butternut squash or a smaller pumpkin. Get the jar beforehand, or usually a big cookie jar will work if you want a bigger one. And make sure that the fruit fits inside of it, and then you can preserve it. But for big pumpkins, like Matt said, take pictures. That's it. That's what preserves them.
Yeah, and just enjoy them while they're there, because it's temporary. This is like sculpting sand or ice or anything else that's just going to be not there later. Just enjoy the process more than anything, and then when it's all gone and done, hey, you had fun doing it. So
sometimes,
not all the time.
No.
Get my lighting right.
So Mickey, I have to make a point here, Mickey. Yeah, I noticed that I didn't see your last carve, and I'm a little upset about it. You said you were going to post it, and then you never posted it.
Yeah.
USOB.
Yeah. You kind of broke you broke the trust.
You broke the code.
We always post, man.
So
everybody carving along should be posting their carvings tomorrow, or whatever when they finish.
I agree. And one of the things that I promised that you guys that I was going to do is I was going to moderate, but I was going to have a carve. So I actually have one. It's in the refrigerator. And the one thing that I'm finding hard at this stage of carving is I think I'm being too competitive.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It would be different if I had no experience or no artistic ability, or just, starting like, hey, whatever I carve, right? So one of the things that I'm having trouble is getting over myself.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm just like, what am I making? Like, is this a nose? Is this an eye? Is this a eyebrow? And I'm having trouble in, I would say, thirds. I'm thinking about, I'm probably overthinking things from the eyes, the nose, and the mouth.
That's a lot of overthinking.
Exactly. So, and then also like connecting them. So what you guys are doing, it all seems very connected. So the
Really?
eyes, the nose, and you probably don't think so, but I would say from someone who's observing this, that it's very easy to understand. Like you guys criticize your work more than anybody ever does. Okay. So let me just throw that out there. You think that these guys think that they're good? They do not think they're good, which is amazing to me, because they do amazing work. But one of the things that I'm having trouble overcoming is I get to a point where I'm just like, I'm working on the eyes, I'm working on the nose, but I don't have a direction, and either do you. You guys are just like making whatever you make. But for me, I need I feel like I have to have some sort of kind of place where I go, okay, I made that. I made the nose correctly. Okay, I made the mouth correctly.
Right.
So it's almost like kind of validation in my own mind. Did you guys have that at the beginning?
Well, yes. You are overthinking it. You are overthinking it. And what I can say, just to help alleviate anybody who's also feeling the same thing, because, Paul and I have had years, and I'm talking years. And if you look at my Instagram, I probably have 300 different pumpkins on there. So the ones I have very, very early, I even like shudder to look at them sometimes, because, this is, if you scroll all the way back, you see ones that are just like, not great. But I had to make those to make the next one. I had to make that one to make the next one. So it's just, I get it. Mickey, if you guys happen to ever, Mickey is one of those artists where we would pass notes back and forth in school, and I would try to keep up with him on making the funniest or coolest looking whatever. But his was just like, oh my God, how did he think of that? And it's so perfect. And so I was always in awe of his artistic talent. So I get why you don't, why you're hard on yourself, and why you have to get it perfect before you move to the next thing. But just keep making tons of mistakes, and this is the best medium for that, Mickey. So and I think Paul would say the same thing. You mess up, you just do this. Okay, all right, let's start feeling here.
Yes.
And, and guess what? You mess that up, it's still edible. If nothing else, you can just eat it and make yourself feel better.
That's a great point. That's a very good point.
Who has a great line about it is John Davis, actually. When anybody asks him, how did you learn to do this? He goes, well, I carved about 600 ones that were terrible.
Wow.
And then it made sense.
Wow.
So, yeah, you're not going to like one until somebody else tells you, somebody else that has that opinion that you kind of value. Somebody will tell you how it is. If you show somebody one and then they go, you did that? That's what you want to hear. You want to hear the question that says, that was you? You did that. Because you're going to think everything you do sucks, honestly. I think most artists do it first, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think everything you do is great, odds are it's not.
Yeah, and then how are you going to grow, right? I mean,
right. You should be like worried and uncomfortable, not uncomfortable, but you shouldn't be happy. You should be, all right, that was decent. I like it. And if the masses like it, then that should be the reward, is when you put it out there for people to see, they accept it.
Yeah.
But you never have to love everything you do. You just have to have a good time when you make it.
Yeah.
There is a certain amount of being thrown in the deep end when it comes to this, as far as having that pressure of just like, oh God, I have like an hour to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. You guys have said this before in past episodes. You're not a pumpkin carver until you've done it in a hotel room at what 3 a.m. or whatever.
Lenny said you're not a professional until you've carved in a hotel bathroom in the shower.
Right. And so there's a certain thing to this where you get to that point, but I think it's about repetition. I think it's about, learning, the medium and learning, like, for instance, the difference between a butternut. And that's what I'm learning, the difference between because I started with a butternut. It was much different than doing a pumpkin. And that's what I'm learning too. I'm learning about the size of the pumpkins. Like, I've had ones I can hold in my hand, but I have like, the one that actually I'm learning about, like, how these pumpkins are actually, you said it before, Paul, they're perishable. So like all of a sudden they start to mold and they start to do, it's like how you keep them is a big deal. I just looked over I have like a big princess pumpkin, like the ones that you see, like the Cinderella, like carriage.
Cinderella.
Yeah. And it's like, it's been sitting here and it has some mold underneath of it. So I'm a little distressed, but I think in my mind, my artistic mind, I know how to kind of work my way out of it, and try to make something out of it and then take a picture of it and then be done with it. So that is actually a really good thing. But yeah, when I look at all of your collective work, it's from doing it every day and doing maybe every other day and just keep on going. And so I'm looking forward to that.
One last thing I'll throw in there is that, you got to enjoy the process, because if you're stressed about it, stop doing it. I mean, if you're
if you're not having fun,
look at that. Best thing. Yeah, exactly. So if you're all of a sudden being like, oh my God, I don't think and any negative thing that comes in your head and you're like starting to get all squirrely, just put it away for a little while, because the beauty of me doing this thing, and the thing that keeps me going back, is that this is an escape.
Yeah.
It's that, this life is tough. Everything that's going on in the world is horrible. And I literally zone out and completely, become, happy when I'm carving. And so I think that's if your mindset is there and you're okay with mistakes and you're okay with that kind of thing and you're not stressed about it, man, it just becomes a totally fun thing. And guess what? Oh, and by the way, you're going to get better and better and better.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't want to hate the thing that I'm good at. And I'm good at art, so it's like I should be able to apply my art to a different medium. But if I start like struggling, I start outthinking myself and putting pressure on myself, just like anything else.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. And this is it's at KMP Attitude Studio. I was telling a sculptor friend of mine, don't hate this one. Yeah. I mean this is great advice. And so yeah, you're totally right. And one thing that I also wanted to ask you guys as well is my very first carve that I ever did.
Who's got the echo?
Who's got an echo? Not me.
Not me. There we go. Hello, test. So what? So one of the things that I learned, I forget, I think it might have been Lenny who said this, that I did a typography on my very first carve, which was very different from what you guys are doing. You guys are doing faces. So like when I did typography, just doing that was being a little bit different, and it seemed to be more in my comfort zone. Sure. Do I continue that part of it, or do I try to challenge myself with faces? Because faces to me seem to be a real big challenge.
Well, you just said it.
Yep.
You just answered your own question.
Yeah, I would definitely stick with what you like and know and feel good with. And then as you grow and get different ideas in your head about it, then you can incorporate some other things. But yeah, Mick, there's no hard and fast rule on any of this crap. This is totally free form for all of us, and there's no wrong answer. So it's
no, we just said it though. No, I actually disagree with Matt for once.
Whoa,
okay, let's hear it.
Controversy.
You just said it was your comfort zone.
Right?
So you
okay, I hear you.
I sit in my comfort zone. Didn't we all just talk about how if you sit in your comfort zone, you're never gonna get any better.
Yeah.
You should always try something. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going back to it. There's nothing wrong with putting a face on one side and typography on the other. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe this badass sculpt and and lettering on it. But don't just only do typography. I mean, you're really good at it. That's something that you already have. That tool's already in your toolbox.
That's true. That's very true.
I think as you've done the ones that you've done, they look good. And you know where you're lacking because you tell us over and over again.
Yeah.
And me and Matt are like, just push a little more. And you're like, I can't do it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I think that it might even take me to a place like I know I can do the typography on there. So incorporating some other thing that I'm trying to learn, like these little faces, would be like amazing. So I can incorporate that into my typography because I think it was Lenny who said that, like, there, a lot of these places are looking for to do like logos and stuff like that, which, I feel I could easily do.
But is it art?
So how could I push it even further? You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but is that art, right? I mean, it's like
right.
I'm not saying anybody who does those logos isn't doing art, but at the end of the day, it's you're doing it on a pumpkin. You could do it on a piece of cardboard. You could do it on anything. So it's
I think it takes skill. It's definitely art and it takes skill. But I know what you're saying. Is it original? It's not original. But but that's the whole thing. That goes back to, would you do this for a job? For me to do this as a job, it would have to be a corporate thing because I'd have to be constantly doing things for companies that wanted to see their logo and their branding on, and like we've talked about this on the show before, where I don't like to do gigs like commissions or anything unless somehow I work in something that I do. If you want me to do a logo, I'm fine. I'll do a logo, but guess what? You're also buying one of these to go with it.
Yes.
Because for it to be worth it to me, I have to be able to make something, because it's just, like you're saying, I could draw it on paper. I could draw it on pumpkin. I want something that, is unique to me. I want you to be buying a piece of art from me.
Speaking of gigs, Paul, I this last weekend I was in Scottsdale at Scottsdale Quarter, and they commissioned me to do some pumpkins carving live, and I swear it was the dream gig because I just immediately assumed, because I've done these before, that they were going to want their logo and can you do a scarecrow eating a monkey, whatever. So I was picturing all the things, the parameters, and they're like, no, just do whatever you want, and just and I had the most fun because it was it was that I could just get up there and whatever spilled out of my head, and I loved it. So if anybody ever wants to commission me, that's the way to make me happy.
I'll tell you, that's how Chicago runs. Tom can attest to that. You get pumpkins on the table, and it's like, all right, boys,
have fun.
Do your best. Put out your best work. Make sure you're entertaining the crowd, and it makes it like how you're saying, that breath of fresh air. It makes it easier to turn around with somebody when an 8-year-old kid is like, "What are you making?" And then you're like, "Well, check this out, kid. This is what I got planned for tonight." Instead of being like, "It's gonna be the Coca-Cola logo."
Right. Yeah.
If you got that freedom, like, Tom says, it's a process. Like, you got.
I totally get that people want their logo, and I'm cool with it. And I've done many of them, but it just to your point, it's if you can incorporate something that is completely creative, that isn't just a skill, then I love doing that stuff too.
Yeah, it should have your own touch. I mean, they're hiring you. They're not hiring an agency. They're reaching out to a specific artist for what they do.
Yeah.
And our portfolio now is basically what lives online. Social media has definitely changed that aspect of it. You don't have to carry around the big black suitcase with you of all your work.
Yeah.
Now you just say, "Here's my card."
Check me out online.
The app, and go check out all my work.
Yeah, that's been my definition of work. When you're on somebody else's schedule, that's when it's a job. So if you can do all this stuff and do it on your time and do it on, when you control it, it's definitely different. There's a question here. Did you ever try any other different styles on pumpkins, like etching or chip carving? I haven't, as only because I said I was jumped into this. So like I actually had some other
the tattoos,
the tool that you guys suggested, and then I actually had some other carving tools. So yeah, I'm still kind of learning even what the tools do and what how they kind of work.
What is chip carving?
So
I don't know that one.
If I'm not mistaken, it's like there's actually like chipboards. So like you would actually like it. So say it's black, and then you chip it away, and then it would reveal white.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah. So
I've seen that. I ain't never done one, but I've seen those. Those are really cool.
It probably takes a lot of patience, and you guys would probably I don't know. You guys might like it. You might not like it. It might be too dimensional for you.
But it's like the stuff that Mark Evan does, like, right? Isn't that like the relief like?
No, that's etching. That's etching, and Mark doesn't use ink.
All right.
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar, but not the same, right?
No speaking.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna have to look that up.
So Steve says he works for 35 companies in September, October. My God.
Wow.
Okay.
That's 32 more than me. Nice work.
Yeah, exactly.
I got 12 job, man.
Yeah, part-timer. Jesus.
That's if I didn't have another job, I'd go 35. I'd go 34.
That's a good number.
Wow. I'd get up to 35.
That's super busy.
Let's check your progress. Can I
all right.
I'd like to see Mr. Devers Augrey. Oh, he's looking awesome. Good.
I'm still working on it. It's you know what's funny is I got so used to these and then went back to these, and the meat is very different.
Is it?
Yeah. This is so dense that it's really different. It's taken a lot longer than I thought. I thought I was gonna be done with it by now, but it's like every little scrape it wants to bounce off. Or if I jumped into this, it'd be like, whoosh.
Yeah.
You pull it softer material.
So Paul, on that one, because I've never seen a shorter, stubbier looking butternut in my life. That thing's awesome. Do you think the seed cavity is like way down under his nose there? I mean, you got the whole top part, right? It's solid.
I don't think there is one. I think it's solid.
The whole thing's solid. There we go.
Pretty much, yeah.
We got a mutant.
I did. I got a little mutant. It's like an apple.
That's so cool. Oh, I see. It's a 4759. That's a good number.
Yeah, that's the like the 12 FLOZs. You know.
That's the IBUs.
Yes, the IBUs of the butternut. Yeah, I've had this one sitting there for a while, and I think we talked about this before too. How they don't really go bad. Well, I got some to go bad.
Oh, good work.
Yeah, thanks. I worked on it by letting them sit there when pumpkin season rolled around.
I've got some that I got in August that I still have in my kitchen. Like, and I know I will never carve them, and they're just going to end up being part of a compost heap. But at the same time, it's kind of I just can't throw them away. I just love them. I just want to give them a hug. Anyway, that's my problem.
Give them a face. Carve them up. Give them a face.
Give a little face, and then throw them up.
That's it. That's all. That's pretty much what we do, right? We spend all this time on them, take a couple pictures, and then dump them in the recycling bin.
Yep.
Or the compost pile, or whatever.
Or give them the chickens, right?
Yep. Give them the chickens.
So this guy's scared, right? I keep reminding myself he's scared.
No, he's sad.
Sad. Oh, okay.
Sad? Oh, is it scared? Shit, I forget. Dope. Mickey, roll back that beautiful bean.
Roll the tape.
What was it? Oh wait, I must have it right now. Sad.
He's sad. Okay.
Or was it scared? I was scared. Was it scared? Sad. Well, guess what? I'm doing sad. I'm doing scared.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
I thought I was scared too.
Man. I can make him scared.
Busted.
That's all right. He's gonna be having a scary dream.
Busted flat in Baton Rouge.
So that's a good lesson right there. It's like, you know,
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Put the beer down for 1 minute. Yeah,
It had nothing to do with the beer.
that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
So Paul, you
Yes,
got
sir.
kids.
Yes, I do.
Are they going out trick or treating, or is it kind of like lockdown city in Boston?
No, we're going down. We're going trick or treating in the neighborhood. We'll keep it local.
Yeah,
just within walking distance, which is what we do anyway. And if people put out candy, they put out candy. If they don't, they don't. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have plenty of candy for anybody that wants to come by my house. I'll put it out in a bucket. The kids can all take it themselves. But honestly, I'm not washing each piece individually and putting it 2 feet apart on a table. All right.
Get 10, can you get 10 feet? Can you get 10 feet? I mean, that's better.
It's what else? Yeah, right. Halloween's going off. Kids are wearing masks and gloves as it is. They all got costumes on. I'm not even touching my candy. I'm dumping a bag of candy in a bowl. I go out with the kids. You want to let your kids trick or treat? Let them trick or treat. There'll always be candy at my house. Until one kid comes by and dumps the entire bowl into his bag.
then Halloween's over. Piece of cake. Hey, you know what's great about that is you don't eat it later. That's the best part.
No, I have an extra bag under my bed. Just
there we go.
I need the extra candy. It's delicious.
Yeah, my wife has bought 2 big bags that we are now through, and we got to buy more before Saturday. Yes. Like, oh no, this one won't be open, and then of course they have Almond Joys in that one. No, here we are.
Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't.
I had to find that out 50 times one night. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. This one has
a hard way.
That's why you got to get like Necco wafers or like jujubes or something, and those things.
Necco wafers. No, I would eat Necco wafers.
I was convinced that this year I was going to be the house they gave the full size, because everybody remembers that house, right? They gave the full size Snickers bars. Yeah. The full size, And I was thinking to myself, this would be the year when no one's out that I give them out, and then that way I'll have 50 of them in my house, and I can just have them at all times. Hey, we can't throw these away; they're too big.
We can't let this go to waste.
Yeah, these are really good ones.
Smart move, fella.
That's
how
good
we
thinking.
Doing
yeah,
time there, Nichols?
We are at 1 hour and 12 minutes, so almost 15 minutes to go here. So yeah.
How many people out there are carving with us? Is there anybody else carving? Am I the only one?
Please let us know that you're carving. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If you're carving, I want to hear from you, because if nothing else, I want to know that this is not happening in a vacuum. I'm not drinking alone tonight. Okay. Not again.
You're never drinking alone. What's the best candy to get in your bag on Halloween? I guess that depends on the person. Yeah, a toothbrush. That's a good question. I like them all, but I get pumped if I get like the full size Twix.
Oh, there you go. I'm a big Heath Bar fan. If I can get like
is good.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
I love those things.
I gotta go with Reese's peanut butter cups.
The peanut butter
old standard. That's
always get them though, and now they're in pumpkin shape too, which is fantastic. I was thinking of like the White Rabbit, like the one you never get. Like when you get a full size candy bar, it's either a Three Musketeers or a Snickers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that come in the big value pack. So if I get a full size Twix or like a Milky Way.
Milky Way is great. Yeah.
A little out of the ordinary. There you go.
Three Musketeers, definitely right.
Yeah.
The Heath Bar. The Heath Bar is a good one.
Heath Bar or Score Bar. Same thing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Lorette says Zagnut.
Zagnut.
How about an Abba Zaba?
Hey,
whatchamacallit?
And whatchamacallit?
Hey, I like whatchamacallit.
Whatchamacallit was
I don't know if I've ever actually had a Zagnut.
I don't think I've had one either.
Might have to go get one. Well, now I know what my mom's giving out on Halloween.
Well, now you know her
and get a Zagnut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a couple people.
Miss Patton out is not carving, designing my holiday carve. Frazzle Stash is getting his holiday carve on.
Ooh, this is a good one. Milky Way Dark.
Yeah, those are good.
I love those. Those are really good.
Yeah.
I steal those out of my kids' bag because they say dark chocolate on them, and they think it's going to be. I'm like, oh yeah, they're terrible. You won't like it.
You have a really great. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope.
Oh, I was gonna say that he had a really great move where he like elbows his kids in the ribs to get to the candy. So it's real.
Whatever
Matt.
it takes. Whatever it
Matt has a whole move. He has a whole move set.
No, I check for razor blades. That's what my move is. Is like, guys, lay it all out here. Yeah, this one clearly has a
Yeah, anything from that side obviously has a nail in it.
Yeah.
This one's clearly just poison, pure poison. I gotta eat that. I'm helping you kids right now, damn it.
I don't really discriminate on candy. The one I don't like is black licorice. That's it.
Oh, that was the question. What's the worst candy? Black licorice.
Oh, black licorice. Well, like Matt said, some if you get like a toy, like a little cheap yo-yo or like dental floss. That's when you suck on the dentist.
Or if somebody's cleaning out their pantry, like you get a thing of baked beans or
can of beans. So true.
That's the best way to do it, by the way. If you guys are into it, just clean out your pantry tonight and stack all that stuff by the front door. And anytime anybody comes by, just drop. Oh, those orange and black peanut butter candy things, dude.
Yeah.
I love them.
Holy crap! Those are just they're not even peanut butter. They're more wax and a little tiny bit of I don't know, chemical.
Yeah, that's called heaven. That's what heaven is.
Oh God,
a little bit of wax and some peanut butter flavored chemicals.
I actually like candy corns. I
like candy corns too. I'm okay with those.
Get down.
Circus peanuts are the absolute worst. I don't know.
Circus peanuts, yeah.
Oh come on, those things are delicious.
Oh good Lord,
they are.
Who hands out circus peanuts? You got to touch every single one of them.
Oh yeah, you're right. How do you handle that? You couldn't give them a giant bag of them. I had this is probably a bad thing to say, but my kids the other day were thinking of we were driving in the car, we were hearing music in the car, and I heard the song that was just overplayed, and I don't know why I said it, but I'm like, I would rather hear your death rattle than that song again.
Oh, nice segue from candy into that.
Well, no, I'm thinking about if I had a circus peanut, I'd rather. Never mind.
No, you have to finish. Oh, you have to finish so you don't go to jail.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my God. All-time favorite black licorice. Yeah, peanut butter taffy. I think that's what we were talking about. That's what that's what those candies are. It's peanut butter taffy, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, they were good. Still good. You know what I don't like? Sweet tarts.
Sweet tarts.
Yeah.
Oh, those are nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, do you want
Smarties? You like Smarties?
Yeah, Smarties are the same thing.
Okay, yeah, they're just like you put them in your mouth and they disappear. It's easy. Just
Yeah. Not a big fan. I mean, I'll eat them, but I'll never turn them down.
While you eat them, you just have to say, I don't really like these.
Yeah.
Well, Matt,
go ahead.
Matt, what was the one we used to get at the when we used to go to the public pool? It was at the snack bar where it was like you put that like wax stick in there, and it was like it was just like sugar. Fun dip.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a waste. That was a waste.
There's a hard pressed sugar stick, and you dip it in other sugar that tasted like different things. You lick it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
I still like that stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a party in your mouth.
That's right.
Mouth party.
Pop rocks are kind of fun. That's a party.
Pop rocks. They were scary though. I really wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Little explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember with kids, having the tale of, remember that kid who drank a Jolt cola and had
Jolt.
It had Pop Rocks in it and his head exploded. Remember that?
Yeah, I was that kid.
Yep. The classic popcorn ball.
Oh, because somebody took the time to make it. That's what made you feel bad about it.
They mashed it.
That's true. Yeah. The caramel apples and stuff like that. Yeah, you would they took the time to do all that stuff. Dots.
Yeah.
Dots, yeah, that's a tough one.
Although the Landon does not like them.
They do awful.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, but get ready. You're getting dots. Dots are like the throw-in in that the economy bag of candy that you get when you wait too long to get candy and you can't get any of the good candy in the store.
Right, they're all gone. Yeah,
Yeah, you're getting dum-dums.
you
You're
get
getting
dum dums.
lollipops and
Dum-dums, yeah.
Dum-dums and dots.
Yep, fun dips. I didn't know my girlfriend liked fun dips. Okay, so our 10th anniversary is coming up. So guess what you're getting?
Hello. Hey, wait, 10 years and you're calling her girlfriend? Come on, let's put a ring on that girl's finger.
Whoa, there you go.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
mad.
She won't have
years.
What?
All right.
I'm too complicated. No, I'm just kidding.
Carve her a ring.
She's the best thing ever. Yeah, exactly.
Carver
the best
a
thing
ring
ever
out of,
happened to me.
Butternut
Who am I
Squash.
kidding?
That's
Yeah.
our next one is how to carve Mickey a ring to give his girlfriend.
Oh boy.
By the way, my girlfriend would love if I got her fun dip. So I'm saying yes, she's getting fun dip.
Nice.
I bless her because she have you guys heard of what a Birkin bag is? Do you know what a Birkin bag is?
I know what a Birkenstock is.
Okay.
Is that the same thing?
I know what a merkin is.
You both are pretty far off. So let's just say that if your wives knew what a Birkin bag is, it's actually a seasonal pocketbook that would come out. It's probably like 20 grand. It's a fashion item.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, get her fun dip. Hurry up.
Yes, exactly. So my girlfriend likes fun dip, so I'm gonna get her fun dip and not a Birkin bag. So
That's a good choice.
yeah. So I was so happy when she didn't know what one was. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to joke that you couldn't put $20,000 of worth of anything in a $20,000 bag. So yeah. So God bless you that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh man, I do now.
Yeah. Yeah. I shouldn't have let the cat out of the bag, actually.
Cat out of the $20,000 bag.
Oof.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sure my wife knows what they are. But if she ever asks for one, now I'll know what it is.
The Carver one. It's an American.
I'll carve her a Birkin bag.
It's a perfect time to learn how to talk. Like say habla español.
Start running. Yeah. I'm sure they're delightfully nice bags.
Brenda suggests I get my girlfriend a beautiful ring pop. Ooh,
there you go. There you go.
Very Halloweeny. There you go.
And you can still get a fun dip, so she could dip it in. She could dip the ring in the fun dip.
Exactly.
See that?
It's a great idea.
The wedding and the shower.
You got it all covered.
Oh man.
Yeah, the candy thing is so fun because everybody has had, like when you dump that bag out, like that feeling when you're home and you're like, okay, what do we got here? And you dump that bag out and you start separating. Okay, chocolate's here. I'm gonna put the all the fruity things here. I'm gonna go. What is this? Gummy bears? It's like such a fun experience. I just like I watch my kids do it for years and years, and it's just like of course I'm a pirate and I come in and be like, well, hey, these are all terrible. And I eat them all, but it is so fun to just remember how that felt like coming home after a big night of hitting in the same house 3 times in different outfits to get the same big bar you wanted.
Yes, you had the pillowcase. You hide it.
Yeah.
Debate time. Candy corn, yay or nay?
Oh, yay.
Big yay for me. Love it.
Big yay, yeah. What the hell? It's candy corn. You can't go wrong. It's
craziness. How would you not like candy corn?
It's like it's like salt and pepper. It's like you just eat it. You don't even think about it.
Exactly. So my girlfriend never separated. She just started eating, of course. She still does that today. Exactly. On one of our first dates, she went and she got a Slurpee. So one of those 44-ounce Slurpees.
Nice.
So I knew who she was from the very beginning. So here's a question from Landon. They look so smooth. How do you get the skin like that?
What on the ones?
On the ones that you're. Yeah.
All right. So on these guys here.
The guys in the show them the guys in the back.
Yeah. So like that, that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of tool work too, where we tell you we have rakes for our tools. On one side we'll have teeth, the other side won't. And I'll take the time to erase a lot of the tool marks from it. And then I'll go over it with an emery pad till the tool marks are all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like this guy. I mean, this guy has more wrinkles, so. But this guy isn't very smooth. This guy's all banged up right now.
That's super cool.
And I'm gonna. I gotta change him now because I forgot that he's supposed to be scared and not sad. So that's gonna take a little while. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen.
That underbite is really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to the dentist. That's why he's scared.
Yeah, I just kind of had to switch my lighting around because I was trying to get into the eyes a little deeper. So let me move this a little bit better. Mine's not smooth either yet, but I do the same thing to answer that question. So I'll once I get to a point, so I've got this guy here, and
You got a little something in your light in your way. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. This guy, it has like little teeth. Come on, camera, do your thing. So this guy's got little teeth on him. You can kind of see it there. Okay. And I do the same thing Paul was talking about where I'm scraping. And if you can see it, it's kind of got like those little rake lines. If I were to use the backside, it would just be smoother, right? So if I use light pressure and do that, it kind of knocks those down. That's one step of getting it smooth. And then to Paul's point, the next step is just taking a Brillo pad and kind of using that as sandpaper.
Well, just to clarify, so he doesn't go and make that same mistake that I did, don't use a Brillo pad because you'll get little splinters that turn rusty on the surface of your pumpkin.
You're holding a Brillo pad? Maybe I'm not calling it the same thing.
Scotch Brite.
Scotch Brite.
Soft, the green ones. And don't get the generic ones either because those are awful.
They fall apart.
The real Scotch Brite. Or you could go with a Scrub Daddy.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. You have another tool actually too that you use that I've commented on in the past that smooths things out pretty good.
Yeah, that little flat clay tool. Let me see if I can find it.
Yes, that thing, that really impresses me with how smooth you can get things.
That's like kind of the final. So I've got just this little square of.
Yes.
And you know where I got this was in like a clay, a set, right? So if you hold it up against the, just kind of, and I'm curving it to the shape of the outside of it, right? And look at the little fine.
It's crazy how smooth.
Yeah, you get really fine.
That's cool. That's smart.
Yeah, it is literally like a baby's bottom at the end of it. It's so soft, but look, you get this like applesauce consistency stuff off of it, and that's great for a final thing. It takes a little practice because it's chunky and it wants to move around on you, so you have to kind of manhandle it so it's not so unwieldy. But yeah, you can get really cool detail off of that and see that cool, like it's like booger consistency, like applesauce.
It's almost like a trowel, almost
exactly.
For like cement.
Yeah, smoothing trowel.
But
that's things that you can find.
Very, very last step, and it especially over a big area, it's nice because it really smooth surface. So
yep, that is super cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So Landon is actually going to try this tomorrow.
Scotch Brite it. Yep. Hit the supermarket.
Yeah. Forget the Brillo pad. I don't mean that. I mean the Scotch Brite pad. That's the thing.
Oh man, I carved 10 pumpkins for a gig in New York to be submerged in tanks, and I spent one full night, like midnight to 6 a.m. carving them, and I used a Brillo pad on all of them, and I was very happy with how all 10 turned out. And as I was starting to think about, all right, so I got to leave tonight, and I'm going to pack these up, and I thought I was up way ahead of the game. I noticed that they all had these little freckles, and throughout the day it started getting worse and worse. And what it was rust on the surface from the metal spin.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
I had to toss every single one of them and start again.
Whoa!
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, so that's why I heed my warnings. Heed my warning.
Listen to your teacher, kids.
So I wanted to go really quickly through some of Paul and Matt's work while we wind this up. So here's some really beautiful recent work from Paul and Matt. Actually, this one isn't recent from Matt. This one's
I
from
love that one.
from a while back. Super detail.
Badass.
And Paul, you did this one in Chicago last week,
Yeah, I
right?
just did that one in Chicago. Yeah.
Paul, the eyes on that one and the ocular cavities are just like stunning. They're just amazing. That's beautiful.
I love like the hood of like, it's like, it looks like it's got like a hoodie on. Super amazing.
Yeah, I get caught in that.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of your trademarks. So it's a good thing.
So.
And
I love that.
Matt did the ice cream cone. It's not even an ice cream cone. It's like there's a name for this. It's like a big like waffle cone.
Waffle cone.
Yeah. And then you put the
waffle cone.
That cherry on top.
You did that when Ray was on, right?
No, I did that one. Ray, I did the clown when Ray was on, but this guy, so he's got potato teeth, and the cherry has potato eyes and teeth, but everything else is just. That was a fun one. That was a super fun one.
It's beautiful. Like, it's so uniform.
Ooh.
No,
Did you add those teeth?
No, I carved them in.
Wow, that's badass.
Dude, those things were like 4 inches thick. I even glued a nose onto the front. Like, that's how thick that thing was.
Oh my God. That's
they were beautiful pumpkins.
Is that also Chicago this year?
Yeah. Oh, look at that one. I love that one.
Yeah, you put those horns on there, correct? Is that
right? I took 2 horns off of other ones I'd carved, and carved little divots into the face of that one as I was carving it, and made it look like they were coming out of it. But yeah, those are just 2 other stems from I call them horn. I mean, obviously they're stems.
They lined up perfect. Cool. You got them to fit so nice.
Yeah.
This was a wheel spin. We're making the clown.
That's awesome.
The annoyed clown.
Annoyed clown.
And he's got like dimples on his nose from being from drinking too much.
Yeah, he's got the gin blossom.
That's Matt's version of the clown. Little paint in there as well.
He didn't look that annoyed there. He looks kind of a little bit too peaceful for after seeing the last one.
Well, because his makeup's so nice. He's got beautiful makeup.
Yeah.
He's got like Silence of the Lambs makeup on.
What are you, about a size 12?
I love this guy.
Yeah. That's a favorite.
That one was a good. I like that one. I like the expression on that one.
You know what's funny is I love the little rotten spot on the top. It's I only know it because you told me about it, but that where the stem is rotten, so it's even more fun.
Yeah. Oh, no! Look at the teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool. It was a gourd. If you can see the outside, it's like that white. It's almost a layer of white on the outside. That was like I had to crack into that with a chisel. But once I got in there, it was really, really clean and nice inside.
When they calcify, it's all over. It's so hard to get in.
It's super calcified. But once I got in, it was good.
Ah, my little happy alien. These are all wheel spins. I love it that we had to. Everything is dictated by the wheel.
Yep.
That's right.
And it goes back to what we were saying about your comfort level. Like a lot of these, it's like, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And you just kind of bang it out. Wait, if you remember
I love that it's your style. Yeah, I want to do a guy who was a little bit spooked, like scared. And
I love that
was an 18-inch tall pumpkin. It was really long. You can't really read it there, but it's really big.
You used a bit of it though.
Yeah, the whole face. Paul, I think this is my favorite of yours. Like almost top three. I just love that whole. You did that with Ray.
No, that was Mark and Chris.
Mark and Chris. Okay,
yeah.
That's right. See, it's all blends together.
It is all blending together. They bring out the best in us, though.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I love that one.
That one is fantastic, man. And I can't believe you did that at a live carve.
Yeah. I finished a couple of details after, but that one was. I actually like that one. It was the idea was an old prospector who got his. He's like somebody shot him or something.
He seems to be pretty indifferent about it.
Yeah, he's still sleepy.
That one might be in my top 3 too because of how smooth you got that, and you're so good with the hair. Like the curl of the mustache is perfect.
Yeah, I'm super like it's even one of my favorites, and I hate them all. So to like it is to not hate it. So I like that one.
All right, so that is the show we had for you this week. We are here every Thursday carving live, as you probably saw, for the last hour and a half. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, YouTube. We're also on Twitch. Please give us a follow, a like, subscribe, tell a friend. We absolutely adore your support. And yeah, it was really great to be on Good Mythical Morning. We have a lot of new eyes on us, but we are going to stay true to what we're doing right here. So like, we're going to definitely just come and carve and talk and show you the process and let you all in on it. So
we got some new and exciting guests coming up too. So that's
yes.
pretty cool.
And that's one of the things I feel we bring to this is we have a lot of connections to this this genre, and we're also going to bring on people that aren't carvers, that are musicians and other artists and stuff like that. So yeah, Matt, what were we going to say?
Yeah, I was going to mention the same thing. This bus ride doesn't end yet because even though Halloween's Saturday, and you guys are all going to go do your thing, we're still going to keep carving. We got pumpkins left, and we got gourds after that, and we got clay after that, and we got all kinds of things we're going to do. In fact. Just based on the number of guests we have lined up, we'll be doing this for a while, and it's a ton of fun, and I couldn't be happier that the two of you are along the ride with me.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Well, awesome. And where can we see both your works, Paul? Where can we see your work outside of Carvers and Creators?
Well, obviously, my Instagram is Dever Customs, and I have devercustoms.com and Dever Customs on Facebook. Just Dever Customs everywhere. But more specifically, if anybody in the Boston area wants to come out, I'll be carving on Halloween in the afternoon for the kids because I got my own kids. I got to be home for Halloween at night. But at a really cool spot called the Anchor in Charlestown. It's right in the Navy Yard, right next to the battleship. They got a whole big haunted house going on. So they're going to do trick-or-treating in the afternoon for the kids. And I'm going to carve a big scary pumpkin for them. So come on out to Charlestown on Saturday from 1:30 to 4:30.
Beautiful.
Right on. Matt, what do you got?
A Harper sculpture, same as Paul, Instagram, Facebook. But I'm carving on Halloween day here in Tucson. If you happen to be anywhere near here, or can get a plane ticket to here immediately, carving at an event here in Tucson for breast cancer. And if you have any inkling of coming to it, just DM me, and I'll make sure I give you directions and all that crap. But it'll be fun.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, my Instagram is Mondragon Design, and you can also find me at Beer Baseball blog on YouTube. We're trying to do some fun. We do some fun stuff during the week, so check me out there. And but always, I mean, Carvers and Creators has been a godsend, a blessing, and definitely during Halloween. It's been fantastic, and I will be carving this weekend, I promise you. And so thank you so much, Paul and Matt. So we will see you week Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And happy Halloween to everybody. Eat a lot of candy, don't get sick, and we will see you here next week. Thank you so much.
One last thing. If anybody wants to post a carve that they did either on today or even over the weekend, send it to us, and we'll make sure we give you a quick mention on our channels. We just love to see all the stuff you guys come up with too.
Yeah, was there a hashtag with that? We did Carvers and Creators, right?
Carvers and Creators, yeah.
Hashtag Carvers and Creators, and we'll get it on there.
Awesome. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Good night.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys. See ya.